Alright, so I kind of said I'd do a bit of an overview on valve clearances. When I say overview, just a kind of a general idea of the process. There was too many people in here before to start doing a video on like a step by step from the very beginning. So I've just checked the clearances themselves. I've taken the cam chain tensioner holder off. I've taken the cam chain holder off, and I've taken the rocker covers off, and I've taken the shafts out, the cam shafts out. I've taken the buckets out, and I've measured the shims, and I've now got an idea and some numbers and readings on what shims I need to replace the old ones with the new ones to basically get the desired clearances, to get them in tolerance and in spec. So first off, I'll apologise for the lighting. It's it's these type of fluorescent lighting. I can't really do much about it, but I have a torch and I'll try and light things up as I go. So you want to get the bike to pretty much this type of state with the tank off. I'm only doing the rear cylinder because I did the front cylinder a few weeks back. So the tank's easy enough to get off. It's 2 bolts at the front, 2 bolts at the back. You turn your taps off, you take your pipes off, ease your fairing back. As you can see, the fairing's still on. You just take the bolts off and just ease it back, and then just gently pull your tank off. Oh, don't forget to disconnect the 2 little wiring sensors, which is down. If I can find them, where are they? Yeah, these things here. They just clip into the tank. Quick tip, if just in case you do it and you forget, it's the positive goes to the outside, so positive first, and then the green, which is the earth, I suppose. So as you can see, like I say, I'm doing the rear cylinder. So timing marks, you've got your stator cover, and you've got your your crank bolt, and then at the minute there's a mark there which lines up with like a little notch on the actual casing. Now that mark is RT, R for Romeo, T for Tango, and you rotate it around, and the cams were facing, I believe they were facing toward each other on both of them to get top dead center. And what you'll see is, you see like the little marks, and I believe on the intake the RI should be facing out, and on the intake it should be RE. So you'll have RE facing out, and then you'll have RI facing out. In all honesty, if you're going to be doing this, you need a manual to check the spec anyway, so just double check the markings. But as you come round, we'll grab a shaft so I can show you. As you come round, the shaft will pretty much just be sat in there with the chain on, and then the marks respectively, RE, RI, should be facing out, or basically in line with the cylinder head casing. So RE, RI, both facing out. Cam lobes, which are like these things here, I believe they were facing away from each other. I'll know when I put it back together. Obviously to achieve top dead center. Once you've done that, once you've taken your cylinder head off, you've got your marks lined up, it's literally just a case of getting some feeler gauges and then slipping them in. The covers will be on here to hide this one. You just get your feeler gauges, slip it in between the lobe and the bucket, and just see where they are in spec. I think mine were, let's have a look. I've actually wrote it down because they were quite tight. As you can see, one's 0.07, and I think they've got to be around about 12, 13. As you're doing it, once you take your shafts out, I'll keep the chain out of the way. I've just got a bit of lock-on wire and a hook just to keep the chain out and stopped from falling down into the cylinder head housing. So once you're at that point, you basically get a magnet. These lift off, be very careful. Sometimes the shim's stuck inside the actual bucket, it's like a little metal bucket. Sometimes it's on the top of the valve cover, I suppose. Get your magnet again and just grab the shim, have a look at the number, see what number it is, and again write something down, focus. So I've written what the measure clearances are, the size of the shim that's in, so 202, 200, and I've just done it one at a time. I want to go and look at the manual because I can't remember off the top of my head what the clearances are. Once I know what the clearances need to be, you basically then just come down the size in the shim to make the gap bigger, because at the minute the gap's too tight. So really I need a thinner shim by, instead of a 200 for a 0.7, you go down, you take however many increments off. I think they come in 0.5 increments, the shims. So I might only have to drop down maybe one size. So instead of a 202, I get a 195, or at the very most a 190. But I honestly think if you've got like a 0.07 clearance and you need a, fucking 13, I'll probably go from a 200 to a 195. Something like that. I need to actually have a look at the manual, but anyway, that's pretty much the process of doing it. And then once you're done, a quick tip on your cam chain tensioner. On the front, it's a lot easier to get to because it's all kind of like, once you've taken the airbox off and it's under the carb there, the tensioner's all there. But with this, on the rear cylinder, where's my torch? Because of all the brake stuff in the way, you can see the screwdriver, you've got the locking pliers there and the screwdriver. All I've done is I've taken the actual bolt out. You've got 3 bolts for the, sorry I'm shining the light in you. You've got 3 bolts for the cam chain tensioner. There's 2 that go into the cylinder head housing, and there's one which actually, you can actually get a tool or a screwdriver in there just to twist it, and it retracts, so it takes the tension off the chin. It's a pain in the arse to do, but all I've really done is I've just stuck a little flat blade screwdriver in there, twisted it all the way around so it takes the tension all the way off, and then just locked it in place with some locking pliers, and it'll stay there until I put the shafts back in, get them all lined up properly. I'll put the new shims in first, get them lined up properly, put them in one at a time, and then just basically take your time in orientating each shaft or each cog on the shaft to the chain to make sure that them marks are facing out as they need to be. And then once the shims are in and the shafts are back on with the marks facing as they should be, you literally put your covers back on, and then where's it gone? So as I've drew like a little picture so I know where the bolts are, and you've got that was your cam chain holder, excuse me, which is basically that with the bolt in the side. That basically just goes over the chain and just keeps it locked down in place. And then put your head back on. So you got your head there. Try not to lose them little seals. Really you should use new ones. I've just got some Doughty seals which you can buy, which is literally come in a box like that of different sizes. Basically just like O-rings with rubber crush washer things in. Yeah, put it all back together, give it a few hand cranks anti-clockwise, give it a full rotation. Make sure you got the spark plugs out because it's a lot easier to turn the engine with the plugs out. And then just double check the clearances again, and they should be, with the thinner shims, they should be in spec to where you need them to be. Put your head back on, put your tank back on, fire it up, and then it should be good to go. But as long as you're careful and you make sure everything's lined up before you start, make a note of it. I mean, you've got a manual there anyway, so you know how things are meant to be. And then do things methodical, one at a time. Don't go taking all the buckets out and all the shims because you'll just get confused. Do one at a time. Every time you do one, write exactly what you've got. Again, on that little picture, that might not make sense to somebody doing it, but it makes sense to me. I've drawn on there the top, the inlet, the exhaust, where the chain is, the measurements for the clearances that are measured with feeler gauges. I've taken each shim out irrespectively. Looked at the number on it and I've measured it and it pretty much matches up. There's only a very slight difference because I've got a cheap, look at a little cheap, where is it? A little cheap micrometer. It's only 20 quid, so you know it's not going to be, it's not going to measure, you know, 100% perfect, but measuring it and looking at the numbers on the shim, it's like 98%. So yeah, and then you just work out your maths and drop sizes down. And, you know, it should be all right. I mean, I appreciate this isn't a step-by-step how-to. It's a general overview. Yeah, it's not that hard. It really isn't that hard at all. To be honest, the hardest part is for me was getting the tension off the chain tensioner. It was just a pain in the arse because my hand kept cramping up because I kept using a little screwdriver. If you want to make a little tool, it tells you how to make the tool in the manual. Take a little key, you twist it and it locks in place, and do that. But you don't need to take the tension off, you just need to take the top bolt out, stick the screwdriver in, and then yeah. So I'm waffling on quite a bit now, and I'm just repeating myself. So I'm going to get the new shims tomorrow, and if it's quiet and there's not a few people in here, because I feel a little bit of an idiot doing these videos when people are watching and people are around, I'll try and show you in more detail about putting shims in and then putting the rockers on and then measuring. So it's kind of going to be a bit of a backwards video this. I've done this first bit after I've taken it all apart, and when I put it back together and re-measure the clearances again with the new shims in, I'll say about doing a second video tomorrow. So anyway, I hope this does help. I hope it's, you know, giving you a couple of little tips, and it's the biggest bit of servicing you'll do on the bike, to be fair, apart from a, you know, bottom end rebuild. It's yeah, I mean, apart from your oil changes and your bearings and your sprockets and, you know, your suspension rebuilds, this is probably one of the most, it's not complex, it's the more involved aspects of servicing for your bike and keeping it healthy and making sure you get the best mileage out of the engine as you can. So again, hope this helps. I hope this has helped, and hope it's relatively made sense. And yeah, see you next time. That's it.